Yes, I can. We were faced with a set of very fluid conditions. Starting a couple of days before Christmas, information became available that a very large group of Lao Nuer youth who were massed together and heavily armed were marching toward the area where the Murle tribe have a number of settlements and several towns. Now, for a number of days, it was unclear which direction the column was going.
We wish you all the best with the obvious.
When we were able to fix the direction that the column was going, and it was clear that it was headed to Lukwangole, the population was informed, and they evacuated themselves. They moved themselves out of harm's way. As the column approached, however, it was very clear that the size of the column and the number of soldiers that we hung on the ground was disproportionate.
This briefing, very good to see you. And
it was clear that what we needed to do was to keep fixing the column, and when it was approaching areas where there were population concentrations, these would be the places where the mission would want to reinforce its presence. So after Lukwangole was attacked, we monitored for 2 very tense days where the column was advancing. And it did become clear by the 30th and 31st of December that almost certainly the column was going to move into Pibor. Now, Pibor is a major town.
All the best with the obviously difficult work.
As the column was advancing into Pibor, again, people were voting with their feet. They were trying to get themselves out of harm's way. And so by the time the column actually reached Pibor, the overwhelming bulk of the population had fled. Now, there were a number of vulnerable people. These are elderly, young people, women who were pregnant, who couldn't flee. And they were being protected inside of the SPLA encampment. And also, we also, in the UNMISS perimeter, had civilians that were seeking safe haven. Thank you.
Okay,
Yesterday, there was a decisive event. In the morning, some of the Lao Nuer youth tried to breach the town, come across the river and enter the town. The army, the government's army, shot at them. Fire was exchanged. In support of the government, the United Nations mission moved forward its armored personnel carriers right behind the SPLA's perimeter. It was just a few hours after that that the Lao Nuer began to make preparations for their departure, and this morning, as I said, they left.
we wish you all the best with the obvious.